Have you ever noticed that the moment you start to lose interest in a woman, she suddenly tries really hard to get your attention again? It's a strange and predictable thing that happens all the time in modern dating. It leaves many men feeling confused and tired. One minute she might seem distant, giving one-word answers, or maybe she has disappeared completely. Then, the next minute, just as you're ready to move on, your phone starts blowing up with her name. She starts sending you messages, liking your old photos, and bringing up old inside jokes. This sudden change isn't a coincidence. It's a planned, or at least natural, attempt to pull you back into a storm of confusing feelings, fake emotional highs and lows, and drama you don't need. It's a whirlwind made to make you feel unsteady, to make you question your choice to leave, and to hook you back into a situation where you're always trying to get her approval, leaving you more drained than ever. Most men, when they see this sudden switch from cold to warm, start to panic. This is a normal human reaction. Their minds race to figure out what happened, and in that confusion, they start chasing her again even harder. They send her more text messages, call her over and over, and ask desperate questions like, "What's wrong? Did I do something? Or can we please talk?" By doing this, they give away all of their power without even knowing it. They are showing her that she has a remote control for their emotions and can easily play games with their feelings. They show her that the moment she pulls away, they will scramble to fill that space with their own energy and attention. But what if you could understand this confusing and draining cycle? What if you could see it coming and make it powerless against you? In this video, we're going to break down that exact pattern for you. We're going to show you exactly what's happening behind the scenes of this emotional storm. We will break down the psychological games that start the moment a woman feels you slipping away. More importantly, we will show you how to use the powerful ideas of Stoic philosophy to turn yourself into a strong, steady rock in the middle of this chaos. You will learn not just to handle the storm, but to watch it from a safe distance without getting pulled into its mess. This is not about learning to play her games or beat her at them. It's about understanding the game so well that you don't have to play it at all. This is about protecting your peace, your time, and your emotional energy. It's about becoming so confident in yourself and your life's purpose that your happiness doesn't depend on who comes and goes. This knowledge won't turn you into a player. It will make it impossible for you to be played. Are you ready to understand the storm so you can be free from it? Before we start the video, I want to remind you that my effective online course on mastering the dating game is available now. If you've been learning from my YouTube videos, you're only scratching the surface. This course takes things to an entirely new level, teaching you everything you need to know about the dating game, from approaching a woman to building real attraction. And you won't find this information in any video on my channel. It's available in both English and Spanish language, so you can learn in the language you feel most comfortable with. It's easy to access with a secure payment option. Visit thestoiccouple.podia.com or click the link in the description to enroll now and improve your dating life. Let's dive in. Section number 1. Why losing interest causes a big reaction. Before we can look at her actions, we have to understand the why behind it all. Why does a man pulling away cause such a strong, almost desperate reaction from a woman who seemed uninterested just moments before? This strong response usually comes down to two basic human needs that are very strong in modern dating: the need to feel wanted by others and the desire to be in control of the situation. In many new dating situations, the connection isn't built on real respect. Instead, it's more like a trade of attention for feeling good about oneself. When you are the one always giving that attention, you are supplying an emotional resource that she might have started to depend on to feel good about herself. When you constantly give someone attention, compliments, and are always available, when you're the first to watch her stories, text back in seconds, and always make plans, you are giving her a steady supply of good feelings. This stream of your attention serves as proof that tells her she is desirable and important. It's like a mirror that shows her a good version of herself. This makes her feel comfortable and confident, not in the relationship itself, but in the power she has, because you are always the one doing most of the work. When you suddenly pull that attention away, you're not just being quiet. You are shaking up the whole emotional balance she was used to. You have cut off her main supply of approval, and this creates a feeling of discomfort that she will urgently want to fix. This isn't about love. It's about the loss of a resource that boosted her ego. This discomfort from losing validation leads to the second reason for her reaction: the fear of losing control. Often, her sudden effort to pull you back isn't about a fear of losing you. It's about her fear of losing control over a situation where she was the prize being chased and you were the chaser. Your withdrawal is you refusing to play that role. When you pull away, you are challenging her control and changing the rules of the game without her permission. The actions she takes next might seem confusing, but they are almost always a desperate attempt to get that control back and return to the familiar state where she had all the power. The great philosopher Epictetus taught us to draw a clear line between what we can control and what we cannot. We can control our own thoughts and actions. We cannot control the feelings or reactions of others. Her emotional storm is like the weather. You can't stop the rain. Your job isn't to manage her feelings, but to be like a lighthouse, strong, steady, and focused on your own purpose, shining your light no matter the storm. It's important to know this pattern usually only happens in relationships that were not clearly defined or were built on one person's need for attention, rather than real shared respect. Section number 2. Small actions to check on you. This first stage is often so small that a man might not even notice it. You can think of it as her carefully testing the waters to see how you feel. She will do a few small, low-effort things just to get a reaction from you. Any reaction will do. The goal is simple: to find out if you are still emotionally hooked, to see if the strings are still there for her to pull. The very first thing you'll probably notice is a clear change in how she communicates. The warmth and excitement she once showed you will suddenly disappear. You are now getting the cold shoulder, a planned withdrawal of friendliness, just to see how you'll respond. Her text messages, which might have been playful before, will become shorter, maybe just one-word answers like okay, LOL, or cool. The emojis and nicknames she used will be gone, replaced by a cold tone. The good morning and good night texts will suddenly stop without any explanation. This isn't a random mood swing. It is a quiet, planned test to see if you will notice the change, and, more importantly, if you will rush in to fix it. She is watching to see if you will start trying harder the moment she starts trying less. The average man fails this test right away. He answers her new, cold, one-word text with a long, emotional message, pouring his own energy into the conversation. He will ask what's wrong or if he did something to upset her, basically begging for things to go back to normal. In that moment, he shows her that a small effort from her gets a huge effort from him, and he fails the test. Another common test is when she starts to casually mention other men. This is a slightly bigger move, meant to get a stronger reaction. She might drop a comment like, "David from my office was so funny today," or something like, "My friend Mike is thinking of taking me to that new bar this weekend." It's important to understand this isn't the full-blown jealousy game yet. That is usually saved for later if these smaller tests fail. For now, this is a quiet way to create a little competition, a gentle reminder that she has other options. She wants to see if you will get insecure or jealous. The reason is simple. It is a test of your confidence. If you react with strong emotion, you have just shown a major weakness. You have shown her that even though you seem to be pulling away, she still has a remote control for your emotions. You have shown her exactly which buttons to press to get the reaction she wants. Section number 3. She's suddenly sweet again. When her first plan of being cold and distant fails to make you panic and chase her, she will often switch things up completely and do a full 180. If the cold shoulder didn't work, she'll try a heat wave. You must prepare for her to suddenly turn back into the warm, charming, and sweet person you remember from the beginning. Then, out of nowhere, your phone will start lighting up with messages from this perfect version of her. You will suddenly get a flood of thinking of you texts, cute selfies with questions like "miss this face," and messages about your first date or a private joke. She is no longer the distant one-word texter. She is now the most engaged person in your life. She will start to act like the perfect partner, showering you with the kind of attention that can make you doubt your own judgment and wonder if you imagined her being cold. This is a classic attempt to turn back time to the good old days. She is trying to take you both back to a time when she had your complete attention and approval. This behavior is a common tactic called love bombing, where someone overwhelms you with affection to gain or regain control over you. She is basically giving you back the same affection you recently stopped giving her, hoping to make you go back to your old ways. Her thinking is simple. Being cold didn't work. Let me try being super sweet and charming like I was at the start. Maybe that will make him go back to being the guy who chased me and gave me all that great attention I've been missing. This is a very effective move against a man who isn't ready for it. The average man, who has likely been missing her, will quickly melt the moment she turns her warmth back on. He will immediately match her new energy, giving her the attention and praise he had been holding back. He will feel a deep sense of relief, thinking that he has won her back and that the problem is solved. In reality, he has done the opposite. He has accidentally taught her a powerful and dangerous lesson. He has just shown her that all she needs to do to get his full attention is to turn on the charm for a little while. By rewarding this behavior, he has guaranteed that this draining hot and cold cycle will happen again, and it will likely get even more extreme over time, as she has now learned the best way to control him. Section number 4. Creating drama. If being both cold and warm haven't worked to make you react, her next step is often to create drama. The thinking here is simple. If she can't get your positive attention, she will go for your negative attention instead. To her, any emotional reaction from you, even anger or frustration, is better than the silence of you not caring. Your indifference is the final proof that she has lost all control over you. A fight or an argument is still a form of connection. It's a twisted sign that you are still invested enough to get angry. She needs to know you still care, even if it shows up as anger. This is where the hot and cold behavior can turn into something much more explosive. She might start to pick fights with you over things that are small or don't even exist. A text message you didn't answer right away is suddenly twisted into a clear sign you don't care about her. A normal tone of voice on the phone is suddenly interpreted as you being secretly angry. A planned night out with your friends is suddenly framed as a personal attack on her. To make things worse, she may start to twist your words, misrepresent what you mean, or even accuse you of having thoughts and feelings you don't have, creating a storm of false accusations that you feel you have to defend yourself against. Her main goal is to create so much emotional drama that you have no choice but to get involved. She is trying to create a crisis that you can't ignore, a fire you feel you have to put out. She wants to pull you away from your calm and detached position and drag you down into the mud with her. This is her comfort zone. She knows how to handle these situations where your logic is useless against her emotional attacks. In a more extreme version, she might even make up personal problems or sudden crises that only you, her hero, can solve. She wants you to go back to your old role as her savior, forcing you to rush in and save the day, which puts her right where she wants to be, at the very center of your world. This not only makes her the focus of your attention, but also makes you feel needed, bringing back the old dynamic she wants. The man who doesn't see this pattern gets sucked into the chaos every time. He feels he has to argue his side and defend himself from her false accusations. He doesn't understand that he is just an actor in a play she is directing, and his only role is to react. Your job, as a man on the Stoic path, is not to try and figure out her complicated reasons or call her out. It is simply to see the pattern of created chaos for what it is, and then choose not to get caught up in it. You must refuse to play your part in her drama. Your inner peace is the most valuable thing you have, and you must refuse to give it up for her endless need for attention. Section number 5. The social media game. When all her private attempts to get a reaction from you, the coldness, the sweetness, and the drama, have been met with your calm indifference, she will likely decide to take the show public. Her social media profiles, like Instagram or TikTok, will become a stage for a carefully planned performance. And you must understand, this whole show is for an audience of one. You. You might suddenly see more posts with vague but empowering captions designed to send a message. These captions might say something like, "Feeling myself lately," "Always know your worth," or the more passive-aggressive, "Some people just aren't ready for the love you're willing to give." These are not random thoughts. They are messages aimed directly at you. Her social media stories may suddenly turn into a non-stop highlight reel of her having the best time of her life, with pictures and videos from parties, fun outings with friends, or workouts at the gym. The message she is trying to send you is clear. Look how happy I am without you. My life isn't just fine, it's better than ever. However, the sheer amount of effort she is putting into this show usually proves the opposite is true. Genuinely happy people don't feel the need to broadcast their happiness so intensely. This over-the-top display is not a sign of her moving on. It is a sign that she knows you are watching, and she is trying to make you feel loss and regret. Then comes an even more direct move, the jealousy play. This is when a picture or a story will casually show another man. Maybe it's just his arm in the corner of a photo, or a post from a romantic restaurant where the table is clearly set for two. This classic trick is a well-known form of manipulation meant to create a sense of competition and urgency. It's a move designed to introduce a new rival, creating a love triangle where you now feel pressured to fight for her affection. The whole purpose is to make you feel a sudden fear of loss. She wants to trigger your natural instinct to compete, to make you feel like you are about to be replaced and must act now or lose her forever. The inexperienced man falls for this trap every time. His stomach drops, his heart races, and he immediately grabs his phone. He might text her an angry, "Who is that guy?" or a sarcastic, "Looks like you moved on fast." In that single, impulsive moment, he has lost the game completely. He has just proven to her that this is a powerful weapon she can use against him. She now knows she can use this trick anytime she wants to get his immediate panicked attention. Section number 6, how to be the unshakable rock. So, now that you know all these patterns and psychological games, the most important question is, how do you become the solid rock in the middle of this storm? How do you get the inner strength to watch all this chaos without getting pulled in? This is where the ancient wisdom of Stoicism becomes your most powerful tool. Stoicism is not just an idea to think about, it is a practical guide for life. It teaches you to respond to challenges with reason and self-control, rather than with raw, reactive emotions. When you face pattern 1, the small tests, you must choose not to react. You see the bait for what it is, a test, and you choose not to take it. You don't answer her cold, one-word text with a long, desperate paragraph. You don't ask panicked questions about the new guy she mentioned. You simply notice these small provocations and let them pass like clouds in the sky, showing that your inner peace isn't so easily shaken. When you see pattern 2, the sudden return of sweetness, you must resist the powerful urge to fall back into the old pattern. Importantly, you don't respond by being cold or rude, as that is also a reaction that shows she has affected you. Instead, you accept her new sweetness politely but with clear emotional distance. You can be pleasant, but you must not become overly excited. You stay confident and rooted in your boundaries, calmly watching her actions without getting carried away. This teaches her that your attention must be earned through consistent, respectful behavior, not with short bursts of charm. When pattern 3, the created drama, appears, your rule should be, see it but don't absorb it. You see her invitation to join her in the chaos, and you calmly and firmly decline. You can simply say, "I'm not going to argue about this," and then either change the subject or end the conversation. You must protect your inner peace like it's the most valuable thing you own, because it is. For pattern 4, the public shows on social media, you must give her performance the one thing it can't survive, your real indifference. You don't block her, as this is also a strong reaction that signals she got to you. You don't watch or react to her stories. You simply do not care. You starve her performance of the attention it needs, which proves to her, and more importantly to yourself, that your self-worth comes from within, not from her approval or her clumsy attempts to make you jealous. And finally, for pattern 5, any accidental messages or run-ins, you must stay polite but emotionally distant. Acknowledge her briefly and respectfully, a simple nod, a quick, "Hey, hope you're doing well," and then immediately return your focus to whatever you were doing. You give the interaction no extra energy. In every situation, you are using the core Stoic idea of focusing only on what you can control. You are focusing on your own thoughts and actions, the only things you truly control, while letting go of the need to influence her. You are choosing long-term peace over the quick satisfaction of an emotional reaction. Section number 7, the final attempt. When all her other methods have failed to break through your calm and get a response, she might try one last, desperate move. This is the accidental re-engagement, a final Hail Mary pass to get you to respond. This tactic is her last attempt to confirm that she has lost her hold over you, but she does it in a clever way that allows her to deny it was on purpose. It lets her test your interest one last time while giving her a believable excuse if it doesn't work. This move protects her ego while putting you on the spot, forcing you to show how you feel. It's a low-risk, high-reward test to check your interest level before she either gives up or starts the whole cycle over again. The most classic example is the "oops, wrong person" text. Your phone will buzz, and you'll see a message from her that was clearly meant for you, but is framed as if it were for someone else. This text might contain an inside joke only you two would get, a flirty comment like, "I had such an amazing time last night," or even a provocative picture. This first message is almost immediately followed by a second, planned message with a fake apology like, "Oh my god, so sorry, that wasn't for you." you must understand that this is almost never a real accident. It is a calculated test designed to make you think about her, to imagine her with someone else, and most importantly, to see how you will react. Then there is the "Hey stranger" text, or sometimes just a single question mark that appears after a long period of silence. This is a message that requires almost no effort from her, but forces you to make a big decision. It puts the ball entirely in your court, making you the one who has to set the tone for any conversation that follows. Your response, whether it's warm, cold, long, short, or no response at all, will tell her everything she needs to know about your current level of interest. Finally, there is the real-world version of these digital tricks: accidentally running into you in person. Suddenly, she starts showing up at your gym during your usual workout time. She might just happen to be at your favorite coffee shop on the same morning you always go, or she and her friends might just happen to show up at the bar you and your friends go to every Thursday night. This is rarely a coincidence. It is a strategic move to get in front of you, where it's much harder for you to ignore her than it is to ignore a text. She wants to see your raw, unfiltered reaction in person. She wants to read your body language and look you in the eyes to see if she can spark some interest just by being there. How you handle this coincidence will be a key moment. Your reaction in that instant will decide the future of your dynamic, determining whether the entire exhausting cycle repeats itself all over again, or if it finally ends for good. In the end, understanding these patterns isn't about winning a game against her, because your life and your energy are too valuable to waste on pointless games. This journey is about your own personal growth and learning to control yourself. It's about changing from being a defensive rock that just takes a beating from the waves to becoming a lighthouse that shines its own powerful light out into the world. A man who is like a lighthouse is so focused on his own purpose and his own mission that he is no longer affected by these games. He isn't always on defense, reacting to her moves, because his attention and energy are completely invested in his own goals and the life he is building. He doesn't have time for drama because he is busy with his purpose. A lighthouse doesn't worry about the ships that sail away, nor does it worry about the foolish ships that crash against its base seeking attention. It doesn't shake when it sees storms on the horizon, because it knows those storms can't touch its solid foundation. A lighthouse does one thing and one thing only, over and over. It shines its light. That light is a symbol of his mission in life, his core values, his high standards for how he expects to be treated, and his daily commitment to becoming a stronger and better man. His light is a guide for those who are also on a path of growth, and it is a warning to those who prefer darkness and games. Real, lasting attraction is not something you can chase or force. It is what happens naturally when a man deeply respects himself and is passionately building a life of value. A man's true power is not measured by the emotional reaction he can get from others, but by his choice not to react when his peace is being tested. Real power is born from self-control and the deep knowledge that your value comes from within, not from the approval of others. It is time to stop being the boy who nervously chases waves, only to be tossed around by them. The time has now come to become the man who is the shoreline itself, steady, constant, and powerful in his stillness. If you are done playing these exhausting games, if you are finally ready to build a foundation of unshakable inner peace and take back your power for good. Comment, "I am the rock," below to declare your commitment to this path. Like this video if it gave you value, and subscribe for more wisdom on building a purpose-driven, unshakable life. If you're ready to take your dating life to the next level, my full online course is waiting for you. It's packed with powerful strategies you won't find on YouTube, and it's available in English and Spanish. Click the link in the description and start mastering the game today. See you in the next video.